We can't just sit here and talk about people who aren't here the whole night. We got to start the show.
We could. You
We
don't know.
could. Yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hello, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how are you tonight?
I'm fine. How are you?
It feels like people are cutting my back, but otherwise I'm fine.
Oh,
Yeah, these things happen. I'm happy though. Although I do want to take a moment. I need to take a moment. Sorry, I should have told you I was going to do this at the top of the show. Today would have been my older brother's 50th birthday.
oh
And
dear.
I'm not looking for any sympathy out there, guys. Those of you who know what happened with my brother and all that. And it was a very sad day for me for a long time, Jack, because it was just a reminder that he wasn't there. And then almost 2 decades later, my twin nephews were born on this day.
Wow.
Yeah. And so my little brother called today bittersweet. And I got to be honest, it's not bittersweet for me. It's just sweet. Because even though, he died later, 3 people that I love very much were born on this day.
Oh, yeah.
And so, it's just life throwing you weird shit that happens. And I just, as a heads up, guys, remember, good things come after the bad. Bad is never as shitty as you actually think it is. It passes quickly, and other good things can come. So keep your head up, keep your chin up out there. It gets better.
I'm going to
Hashtag-
modify that a little bit and say, keep your head down. Everything sucks. Don't make eye contact with anyone because then you're under suspicion. And just move along quietly, comrade.
Happy birthday to my nephews who've actually been watching this show pretty much since I started, when they were probably too young to be watching it. They are some of the funniest people I've ever met in my life, and I love them very much. So happy birthday to those two.
How old are they?
They just turned 18.
Oh, wow.
Turned 18 today. You have a very healthy outlook on life, Monk. If I didn't trip her, I'd probably be in a ball crying in a padded room somewhere eating my own feces.
You make that sound so weird and bad. You don't know. You haven't done it.
Well, it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good.
Trust me, when you break far enough, it'll sound like a fucking vacation.
It'll sound like the way you want to be. No, yeah. I've been told that many times that I have a healthy outlook on life. And honestly, I just don't know any other way to be, because it just sounds so depressing to give into, the bad. It'd be easy to do that, but nah, I like life. I enjoy it. Yeah, it's got its bad moments, but so many more good. So many more good. All right, Jack, let's get into the news today, shall we?
Whatever, you're bitching about my padded cell and before crying.
Do we want to start with a dead woman or a missing woman?
Let's start with the dead woman first, because that's probably the worst.
Lisa Marie Presley died today, the daughter of Elvis Presley, at the age of 54 years old, of multiple heart attacks.
Oh, did she die of sudden?
I don't know how sudden it was, and they're not giving out a lot of details. I got to be honest, with her father and her husband, her ex-husband, and her being in the music industry still, I have a feeling that this one is not so much COVID related as it is pharmaceutical related.
Oh, yes.
And I don't have any proof of that. I'm just saying that, I mean,
she's a celebrity with a family history, so.
Yeah. I've never listened to her music. I know she was a singer, but same thing. You're right, Faithless, but a different pharmaceutical, I should have said. I know she was a singer, but I've always just known her as Elvis's daughter. When we were young, Elvis was still a thing, to the point where people were like, Elvis is still alive.
Yeah.
Big conspiracy there for a long time. People were seeing Elvis everywhere. He was all over the damn place. Including
Weekly World News practically tracked him on a daily.
Yeah, sometimes he showed up on toast, like Jesus.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
So I know that I know her from that, but mostly I know her from marrying Michael Jackson and being the one who told us that no, Michael didn't touch kids. He was a poon hound. Can I say Poonhound when we're talking about a dead woman?
I don't know.
I'm not sure about the. No, Lisa Marie's not the one from Naked Gun. That was her mom. What's her mother's name? Shit. What was Elvis's woman's name? Thanks for helping me on that. Fuck, I can't.
I just got up, dude. I don't know anything.
What the hell? Priscilla, thank you so much, Terry. Priscilla Presley. Priscilla Presley was her mom in the one in the Naked Gun movies. And to everybody else who sang it, thank you. No, Lisa Marie, she was a singer. I don't know if she ever acted in anything. But yeah, passed away today at the age of 54. And it's just weird. It's just weird because even though I don't have like that great connection to Elvis like my mom did, she loved Elvis. She actually got to go to one of his shows before he, passed away on a toilet.
Yeah.
But there's still something about it because of when we grew up where it's like there's this weird, oh my God, Lisa Marie died. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? I can't explain it exactly, but there's this weird kind of not necessarily like, oh wow, I'm so sad. I was such a big fan, but oh my God, Lisa Marie died. I hope that makes more sense than I'm hearing it. But yeah, so it's not like I was a giant fan, but it is a moment, and yeah, I just fear we are going to find out that this poor girl died of the same thing that her dad did.
Well, celebrities are very fucked up people, so
she's only 7 years older than us, Jack.
I know. Well, we're at that age where a lot of the people that we used to watch or grew up with are starting to really die off, like in mass.
Yeah.
So they're aging out, and especially if they had a habit at any point, they're gonna have more problems.
54 ain't aging out. It's like 78 right now is aging out. 54 is too young.
Yeah, I agree. But
yes, he did.
But if you have a lifetime of life history of like drug abuse or just hard living, or medical stuff starts happening around 40. So it's just the way it is, unfortunately.
Was she on the toilet at the time? No, she'd been rushed to the hospital because she'd had, it was reported she'd had heart attacks and was taken to the hospital. And then it was about 6 hours later when all the news started popping up about her passing. For the record, I was not asleep at the time. Frosted Glass, thank you. Ayana was the black sheep of the family. Who's Ayana?
That's a reference to something, but I don't know what it is.
Ministry of Wrong Thing, thank you. Sup, bros? Monkey, did I miss it? Or why haven't you talked about the recent Twitter files? Thought you were antsy for the COVID drops. I am, and I saw that they were out today, but I did not read the ones from today. So I'll probably have to do that on tomorrow's show. Why haven't I talked about it? It's just because I haven't read them.
Real quick. Thank you, Travis Gardner. Had to clean my garage. Did find some document boxes. Probably important. Yeah, you might want to do something about that. Oh, Ayanna Presley.
Is that the chick in Congress? The bald one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Different spelling of Presley, by the way.
From the squad.
The squad. Well, yeah.
I hope Travis finds a proper disposal place for those important papers. We'll get there. Never mind.
We'll get there. Yeah, it's one of the big stories we'll be talking about this evening. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the Rumble button if you're over there. Share it on either platform, whichever one you're watching us on. And if you're on YouTube, you can donate to me and Jack through the link at the top of the screen. You can do it on Rumble too. We just don't have a link over there.
Yeah.
Okay. The other one, this is a story we haven't talked about, Jack, but it's been going on for a few days now. Mom in Massachusetts disappeared. And
yeah.
Her name is Anna Walshe. And they recently arrested her husband because, well, yeah.
Yeah, because it's usually the husband.
The whole Scott Peterson thing going on here.
Yeah.
Well, there's two things that happen. Either mom runs away for a new life somewhere else, for the Tate brothers. Or, yeah, he killed him. And you got to look at him.
Of course.
Typically, when there's a couple involved and one of them dies, it's the other one who did it. And that it doesn't matter race, sex, sexuality, all of it, it transcends all of that. You are more likely to be killed by your spouse than most anybody else, if I remember correctly. I know you're more likely to be killed by somebody you know, but I'm fairly certain spouse is up there on the list. I watched Snapped.
Yeah, we watch a lot of murder porn, so.
Days after the husband, I should put this on the screen. I'm trying to be more professional, Jack. And apparently people like reading this shit along with you as you read it. So there's the missing woman. That's Anna, and this is her husband. As search for missing Massachusetts mother Anna Walshe continues, documents show criticism of her husband.
No.
Can I just say these two don't go together? They really don't. Giraffe neck. Oh, I shouldn't do that. She's missing. She could be dead. I should be nice. The long-necked woman here, and the he doesn't even have a chin, Jack. It just goes straight down to his chest. That's not a match you expect to see.
Maybe he was a little more fit back when they got together, but yeah,
maybe
she's actually fairly attractive, especially compared to him.
Yeah, she's thin, attractive, and he's
got a big
dad bod. He's got dad bod on his face.
Mostly the neck area.
How you get dad bod on your face, homie? Anyway, days after the husband of the missing Massachusetts mother, Anna Walshe, was arrested on charges of misleading investigators, details of his tumultuous legal history are beginning to emerge. They're not beginning to emerge. You guys just finally dug into it.
Potato.
Well, they always say stupid shit like that. It's beginning to emerge. Wait, you could have looked at it at any time.
What, you want him to do some journalisming?
Yeah, actually.
No.
Because they started talking about this case when she went missing, before he was arrested. And remember, guys, he's not arrested on charges of killing her. He's arrested on charges of telling the investigators bullshit. So I don't honestly know if he did it or not. He did it. But it's not looking good for him when they've already arrested him for lying to the cops. Anna Walshe told police in 2014 someone threatened to kill her and her friend, according to an incident report. I don't know if this talks about it, but the incident report doesn't actually say who it was. It doesn't say that it was him. She doesn't give a name. She said somebody called her and threatened to kill her and her friends. A spokesperson, I've been paying attention to this. I just haven't talked about it online. Which is weird because this seems like one that we should have talked about. They're journalists, not investigators. That's true, Keldrick. I apologize. I need to keep them in mind. I pray this woman is found alive. Me too, Ebony. I really do hope she's found alive. I hope she just, well, that's a fucked up thing to say. I hope she just left her family and is hiding somewhere.
Yeah. Well, look, with these situations, you just never really know until they find more evidence or a body or blood splatter or a piece of brain or whatever.
Oh, Rod brings up Jeff Beck. He died yesterday and we didn't talk about it. He's the guitarist for the Rolling Stones. He passed away. I don't know what else to say about it. I don't like the Stones at all. No offense. I'm not being mean or anything. So no attachment to me there. Again, with Lisa Marie, it's not even that I have some kind of direct love for the woman. It's just how I grew up. And the Stones were never really part of my life.
Oh, the Stones was the generation before us. That was more of a boomer era band. They didn't have a whole lot of hits when we were kids. So, but Lisa Marie was in the news because of her wedding to Michael Jackson, and she did a short-lived music career.
The Stone, wasn't it the Rolling Stone? Okay, was it Yardbird? I don't know who the fuck it was. I just know he was a guitarist. He had nothing to do with the Stones.
But that's a generation before us, so it really doesn't. It doesn't have the same impact as like when Chris Cornell died.
Let me apologize. He's in the Yardbirds, not the Stones. My mistake. There we go. All right. The report was filed by Ann Walsh, then Anna Nip.
Leave it.
Unfortunate name for a woman. I think it was cold. Never mind. When she resided in Washington, D.C., the case was later closed because the victim refused to cooperate with the prosecution. We see that way too much. Look, I get it. If you're willing to call the police, though, you should probably follow through. At this point, she wasn't even married to him. So if it does turn out it was him, which was reportedly confirmed by a friend, again, because the report itself has no fucking name on it. But if you're going to go through with calling the police because you're afraid somebody's actually going to kill you and your friends, you should probably, work with the DA on that.
Yeah.
In 2019, Brian Walshe, 47, was described by relatives and family friends as an angry and dishonest person, swindled money from his father, Dr. Thomas Walshe, and had been disinherited, according to affidavits filed that year during a dispute over his father's estate. Okay, we need to stop here. I don't know the details of all of that, okay? But when it comes to estate fights, I really cannot take sides if I didn't know them personally. Because people say outrageous shit to try to get the money.
Yeah, and sometimes it's real, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you don't know them, it makes it bit of a quagmire, shall we say.
Yeah, so it's I mean, it's a piece of the puzzle, I suppose, that people were saying this about him. But I've seen that said about people who were actually really nice people, and the other party just wanted the money. Brian is not a trustworthy person, and his affidavit is based on lies and misrepresentation, wrote Jeffrey Ornstein, who said he was a close friend of the father and had roomed with Brian Walshe. Ornstein also wrote Brian Walshe was diagnosed as a sociopath. Bullshit. That's a lie. There is no diagnosis of sociopath. That is a colloquial term. I know I fucked that word up, but you know what I meant. Mm-hmm. Just like psychopath. There's not an actual therapeutic medical term for that.
Yeah, it's sociopathy.
And had been a long-term patient at a psychiatric hospital in Stockbridge, Massachusetts. Brian Walshe is a very angry and physically violent person, Dr. Fred Pascatori, who said he was a longtime friend of the deceased father, wrote in his affidavit. He too noted the estrangement between the father and son was due to Brian being it's not a thing. CNN has reached out to the current and previous attorneys for Brian Walshe, but has not heard back. Shocking. The guy who probably killed his wife, he's not answering, Jack. Anyway, Jess, this is new information that came out today about the phone call from 2014. Again, it doesn't prove anything. It doesn't show anything. It's just another piece of the puzzle. And again, they don't even know for sure that it was about the guy. They really don't. They think it was about the guy. And one of the friends came out and said, yes, it was about him. It could be Jack. He might be the sociopath that they're talking about. He might be the murderer that they're talking about. And I hate to give the guy undue credit here, but we do need to back up just a little bit. Just a little bit. He probably did it. He probably did it, but don't just believe everything that's said. That's the point. Sometimes people lie for their own reasons. I don't know if you knew that, Jack.
I was unaware.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it happens from time to time. Anyway, funny how they all use the same language, though. Yeah, that devil's advocate, that's part of what's bothering me about this case. Again, I'm not saying this guy didn't kill his wife, but a lot of the people who are coming out talking about him, they're on the same page. And that could mean that, yeah, they all experience the same thing. It's just a little too neat. If this was a movie, it'd be like, you guys fucked up with the dialogue there. Yeah, you guys didn't even try. She emptied her own bank accounts the day before. Is that true? I didn't see that part.
Yeah, she might have ran, and if she didn't, then she took all the money out, was getting ready to run, and then he,
Yeah. I'd missed the part about the money. How did I miss that part? That should be a really big part of all this.
it's probably not one they're talking about a lot.
His internet history is interesting. Well, a lot of people's are. Some people have 50-gallon drums of lube on their internet history. That's on my internet history, and I have no interest in those barrels of lube.
Sure you don't.
Nope, I saw it because of another idiot. Anyway, so there we go. That's Anna. Should we jump into Karine?
Wording, phrasing.
I'd bang her. I'm not lying. She's
know.
cute enough that I'd bang, especially not with her short hair. She looks ugly as shit with her short hair.
Yeah, the short hair is not attractive. Her head is too round for that.
I'd tap it. I'm not going to lie. But anyway, Karine Jean-Pierre had the unfortunate job of trying to explain away the Biden documents today.
Yeah.
Because we learned a little bit more about the Biden documents, Jack.
Indeed, we did.
We learned that they were protected by his car in his garage.
Oh, hate to correct you, but from what I heard today, there was a third set found, and that was the ones protected by his car.
Wait, I hear you, but I've heard
in the same building, but
yeah. So they had these in his house, protected by his car. It's where I keep my Corvette.
Yeah, super safe because his Corvette is the Knight Industries 2000.
Well, he says this. I don't have the clip of him, but there is a clip of him where he says, it was in my garage and it was in a locked cabinet. All right, maybe.
Sure. They were in a pile on the floor. Who is he kidding?
But why are you locking up all of the documents you have? Everything you have needs to be locked up. That's just another indication to me that he knew what was in there, so he locked it up. If I don't believe he actually locked it up, but you know what I mean?
Well, don't worry, Monkey. The keys to the lock were safely stored with his smartest person's son, Hunter.
Yeah. The documents about Ukraine were with Hunter's. Yeah. Anyhow, but something else came out about this, Jack. These new things weren't. These new files weren't just discovered. They were discovered back in December. So when the story comes out and the White House is telling us about it, they knew there were additional documents already found, not just the one at Penn Biden think tank. They already knew this and kept it hidden until today. Well, yesterday, really.
Yeah.
And even then, it wasn't the White House who came out and said it. It came from other people and had to be confirmed by the White House. So they already lied about it as well. Oh, we didn't lie. We just didn't say it. Yeah, it's a lie by omission, you fucknut.
Yeah.
November prior to the... Okay, now, here's the thing. This is what the White House said. I still don't believe them in any capacity. But they keep telling us, and actually... Karine Jean-Pierre says something in this. We're not going to watch the whole thing, Jack, because Jesus Christ, I punch myself in the dick. I swear to God, I will. But she says something in this, and I'll link it to you guys so you can watch the whole thing if you want to. But at one moment, she says it was reported immediately. And then in the same answer she's giving, she says really soon after it was found instead of immediately. Like she accidentally told the truth there. We are taking it on Biden's word that this stuff was found and immediately reported. We have no indication that that's true. It's not like they had, some film crew in there filming them open this shit and like, no, you can see the date right there on the film. We turned it over as soon as we found it. How do I know that?
Well, It's actually a little worse than what you're describing. But real quick, thank you, Travis Gardner. Of course, he's a Corvette D-bag. Well, he's just a D-bag.
Have you never seen him in his Corvette? He's very proud of that thing. They let that motherfucker drive it like a year ago. And please do not let him get in that car.
All right. So the first batch were identified on November 4th.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're told.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the timeline that's being put out by ABC News. And then December 20, his counsel informed Walshe, who is the U.S. Attorney General, signed by, under Merrick Garland.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they advised that there were more classified markings identified in the garage in the Wilmington home. The FBI went to the location and secured those documents. January 5th, the U.S. Attorney Walshe advised Garland that further investigation by a special counsel was warranted. In the days since, Walshe continued the investigation, and DOJ identified Robert Hur for appointment as special counsel. That was the 5th. Then on the 9th, reporting breaks that Attorney General Merrick Garland assigned Walshe to review classified documents found at the Penn Biden Center. The White House confirms that the president's attorney found a small number of documents with classified markings in a locked closet at the center. And of course, it kind of goes on from there, which we all know because we talked about that. And then we come up to today's news.
Yeah.
So everybody seems to want to dance around the fact that these were in a fucking garage. And only some outlets are saying they were locked in a cabinet or anything.
Even the ones at his office, there's no reason to believe that was locked up.
Yeah.
You would lock your office door, not your closet door inside your office.
Well, it depends who I have in there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose we got to be extra safe. If a thief can get through that one door, they won't get through the second one. Anyhow,
again, there's no Secret Service wandering around that either of these buildings.
No.
There might be now, but there weren't when these things were found.
Well, they were busy trying to find Hunter's gun.
Yeah, probably.
Did you see that there's news on that too? It came out like 2 days ago with the Secret Service. We might have had his gun, and the news, the major news, finally picked it up for half a day. This is a story we knew about with him and the gun.
Yeah. What the hell?
But they're like, there's some, anyway. All right. This is Karine, and I don't know this lady's name, but she's the official deaf person on the, or deaf person, right? Yeah, because blind people couldn't see.
Yeah. Can I point out how that shirt, which is a chameleon shirt, by the way, it looks pink in some pictures. That shirt is doing Karine no favors.
No, it actually looks like a clown shirt.
Yeah, she looks like circus people. Like, if I were Bart Simpson, I'd be a little nervous right now.
Sure, yeah, you're going to get killed. If you guys don't watch The Simpsons, you probably don't get that joke, but that's okay. Anyway, Karine, she starts out, the very first thing she did, we probably should talk about this too. Down there in Alabama, there were some horrible tornadoes that ripped through and killed several people.
Oh, damn.
All the best down there. And if you're in that area, it's not like these aren't areas known for tornadoes, but that doesn't mean I'm happy when anybody gets hit by one.
Well, yeah, it sucks.
But she starts out with that, and then she tells us about how, I forgot the guy's name. He's going to come up and talk about Biden meeting with the Prime Minister of Japan. Great. And then she finally gets into this.
Yeah. Can we call her Sideshow Latrine?
Yes, we can.
Oh, awesome.
Let's listen to Sideshow here.
Make sure.
Did I share sound?
Yes, you did. You're good.
Sure that everyone saw this. It's a statement from Richard Sauber. His statement reads, as the president said, he takes classified information and materials seriously.
I don't think that's true. I mean, when I take stuff seriously, Jack, I don't just leave it laying around.
Well, it depends on how you parse that sentence. Because if you're taking things seriously, seriously.
I got you. Yeah. We can't read what she's reading. So, yeah, it's probably how it's written.
That just means he steals with intent.
And as we have said, we have cooperated from the moment we informed the archives that a small number of documents were found, and we will continue to cooperate.
Again, we have no idea when they actually found these. I just want to keep beating that point home because we did it immediately. Prove it. Give me some proof that the day you found it, like there's got to be something like a billing receipt for when the lawyer went to go through Joe's stuff. They tend to keep their hours, Jack.
Yeah.
Can I see that? Well, I mean, they can fake that as well, but can I at least see the fake one?
Can I see what's in their shredder? Because I'm guessing.
No shit.
I maintain that there were a lot more documents that didn't make its way over.
Oh, sure.
We have cooperated closely with the Justice Department throughout its review, and we will continue that cooperation with the special counsel. We are confident that a thorough review will show that these documents were inadvertently misplaced.
I mean, like, you're using the same defense Trump did of, I thought these were okay.
Can I just point out she's reading somebody else's statement, and do you see how emphatically she's doing it?
This woman is so bad at her fucking job.
This isn't her statement, and she's reading it as though it is. All right.
And the president and his lawyers acted promptly upon discovering of this mistake. With that, my colleague is here, John Kirby, to talk through the bylaws.
That's who it is. All right, so Kirby comes up, and we don't give a shit about Kirby. Now, we are not going to watch a lot of this because she's asked the same goddamn question over and over. And I'm just going to sum it up. We didn't know that those documents were there. We already answered your question. I'm not going to answer that question. I can't answer that question because it's political. My favorite is I can't answer that question because there's an ongoing investigation. None of the questions she was asked had anything to do with anything that should get Biden in trouble if everything's on the up and up, Jack.
My favorite thing she said today was, I'm sorry, I'm not asking you to ask a question. I'm asking somebody who's not asking about this.
Yeah, that comes later. We are going to watch when Peter Doocy asks her a question.
I love Peter Doocy. He's like the last real journalist out there.
I will give the White House press corps some credit today because they were on this like a dog on a bone.
Yeah.
She wasn't having none of it, but they were on it. So we're just going to pick a random point. All right. Right here's fine.
All right, Chris, it's yours.
So a few questions about the classified documents. First off, is the president willing to be interviewed by federal investigators about his handling of classified documents?
So first, let me just say, I'm just not going to get into hypotheticals. This is something.
Is the president willing to be interviewed by investigators? I'm not going to get into hypotheticals.
Oh, it's a reality now, honey.
Okay, technically it's a hypothetical, but why wouldn't you be? You said in the statement that you read earlier, he's going to continue to cooperate. Well, part of that cooperation is having the interview. That should have been your answer.
Well, again, this might come down to the semantics of the sentence because he's going to continue, but there might be a finite end to that continuation.
Fair enough. Yeah, they didn't give us a time frame on that, did they?
Yeah. No, just like Elon saying, I will step down as CEO. He didn't specify like right now. He meant
right
at some point.
Ethan Rumley in chat says, I just can't quit you, monkey. Now you sound like my wife.
For the Department of.
I have a question. There's an investigation ongoing.
But it's ongoing review, right? You're asking me about something in the future, and I am telling you that I'm not going to get ahead of what the Department of Justice is going to decide. Look,
he's not asking you to do that. He's just asking you if it happens, will the president be willing to cooperate still?
Yeah, she kind of lost her shit a little bit today.
Oh, she did.
I think she's close to breaking.
Wait till we get to the Ducey shit. It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
It really was. Peter Ducey really knows how to push her buttons. They have so much sexual tension.
Oh, yes. He needs to just bang her.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm a lesbian. And he's like, but not for tonight.
Not today.
Today, I'm your trans woman.
Oh, that's what he should do. He should be, I'm a trans woman. Take my feminine penis.
Yeah.
I want to reiterate what you heard from the president today. It is important for the American people to know this.
Okay, can I just point out, watch her body language. Let's go back just a little bit. Okay.
Also, don't stare at her eyelids because she didn't put enough makeup on them and the light is right on them. So if you look at it in a small box like I am, they look like eyeballs fluttering and it's really creepy. Like there's no iris in there.
Unfortunately, I need you to look at her eyes. Look at her eyes and her head as she says this part where she reiterates what the president said today.
I am telling you that I'm not going to get ahead of what the Department of Justice is going to decide. Look, I want to reiterate what you heard from the president today. It is important for the American people to know this, is that the president has said he takes classified documents and information very.
Do you see how she looks like a kid who got in trouble?
Yeah.
Like, did you take that cookie, little Jimmy? No, Mom, it wasn't me. I don't know what happened to it.
Even the sign language lady's like, what the fuck is happening here? Look at her.
And right? She's like, what the fuck? But yeah, what the hell? I do not know what that was. I just got an alert on my phone. Sorry.
Oh, Angry says hi. Angry Illinois, because he jumped from Rumble over to YouTube. It was stuttering or something.
What's up? Welcome back. It might be my internet at the moment. We might be too early in the night to actually be trying to watch video. Shit happens. Sorry, guys.
Are you on the satellite again?
No, I'm not. But Lady Monkey went to bed not too long ago. So it's entirely possible that there's an issue there. Thank you so very much, Keldrig. Listen to the way she says his name. She already knows he's going to ask her about things she doesn't want to give answers to. She also sounds like she hates him, but also wants to bang him. And let me tell you, a hate fuck is awesome.
Yeah, that kind of sexual tension brings out the real freaky stuff. So I think there's a romance or a fling in the making here.
Look, Karine, if you've never been hate banged, give it a try. I think you'll like it.
She'll be doing some hate banging of her own, I'm sure. I'm
just saying, man, it's good for the soul. That's all. You know who else needs to do that? Prince Harry.
No, he's got some Elizabeth Arden to apply.
I was told that my pennies comment smells like my mom's penny is one of the worst things I've ever said. And
probably is.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for that.
Seriously, this is something, as you all know, that
Why is she doing the Bill Clinton fist?
A lot of people do that. It's a speaking technique they teach in college.
Is it? Because I haven't seen it from many people for a while. I thought it went away.
It fell out of favor for a while, but yeah, you see a lot of politicians and stuff do it because what they tell you, it usually happens in communication classes, like people that take various speech classes, stuff like that. Mostly chicks, let's be honest. But they tell you because pointing offends people or makes them feel like they're being accused of something. So you do that so you're not pointing at them. Because if you use the flat palm where you're pointing with all your fingers and thumb, like you're going pew pew, that bothers people. And so this is supposed to be a non-threatening way of creating emphasis.
I got to be honest. I've never thought about it in any other way until the whole fist thing. When people, I speak with my hands, Jack. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I've never been offended at somebody unless they're giving me the finger. And even then I'm like, that's funny. But I've never noticed the whole thing until this is some stupid shit. Don't listen to people who tell you dumb stuff like that. Now, if you're pointing right at them going, you suck, then yeah, sure.
Yeah, but this technique is weird. It looks unnatural. People don't normally talk that way. So it looks artificial, and it looks like they're trying to hand you something in their hand, like a little kid with a pebble in his hand. They're like, I found a froggy.
Well, they also do the thumb, like she's got it right there. Clinton was the worst at it. He'd have his thumb like pointed straight upwards when he'd do it.
Yeah.
I swear, I'm gonna fuck that. I mean, I didn't have sex with that woman.
But it's supposed to be like a neutral thing. That's all. But yeah, I actually learned that in speech class.
That's stupid.
Yep.
I agree with you that that's probably what they're teaching them, because that sounds like something that they would teach people. It's stupid, though.
They teach us that, the knife hand technique, and then the pointing, or using your whole hand, where you make like almost like you're doing a little hand monster. You know, if you draw eyes on your index finger.
Oh, okay.
But you put your thumb right between the first knuckle of your first and second finger, and keep your fingers straight, and so they can see the back of your fingers. You gesture that way. What
kind of dumbass comes up with this stuff?
A bunch of bored people that are communications teachers.
You know what? It's a psychology thing. Psychology, stupid, mostly useless.
I think the speech teachers came up with this as a way of justifying their jobs. This is my patented speech technique. Give me $50. Teach your people how to do it.
Is she married? If you're talking about Karine, I don't remember if she's married, but she has a lesbian lover.
Yeah.
Who is, if I remember, ugly. I don't care, but
I don't care either. Karine Jean-Pierre is a terrible person for this job.
Let's back it up to the end of or go ahead to the end of this answer. I don't know where we're at, so
I don't know. I'm in my kitchen. I don't know where you're at.
I only made one timestamp for this, and it's at 55 minutes. That's where Peter asked his question. So the rest of this is just going to be us jumping around to different points because it's funny to me. All right, Karine.
Be cooperative with the Department of Justice and providing details as appropriate as possible.
We did jump ahead, but she's asking or answering the same thing. Notice that. Those two, where we jumped and where we ended up, could have been the exact same place. All right.
Part of that process.
So why did you fully describe the documents when we were firstly asked this week?
Because I actually answered that question. I said because there was a process happening that was currently ongoing.
Yeah, I should have backed up. I should have let that play a little bit more. To explain why, when this news first came out, they didn't say they found multiple documents in multiple places. She said they couldn't because there was an ongoing process.
Yeah, it's called midterms.
It was an ongoing process, so we couldn't tell you about that. No, I hear you, Jack, but this week when it came out, why didn't you tell us about all of them this week? So, there was a process? There was a process.
Yeah, we have a process of keeping you in the dark.
Yeah, we were hoping you guys wouldn't find out.
Yeah, you're supposed to ignore it.
Yeah, because if you guys found out, it would have been worse. It would have sounded a lot more like Trump.
Cover up.
Except for Trump could declassify his stuff.
And I'll refer you back to my comments that I made just yesterday. Go ahead, Mary.
Just a couple of things I want to clarify, just to make sure that our reporting is as accurate as possible. You know, the special counsel's, the White House counsel's statement this morning said that documents were found in the president's Wilmington residence garage and in an adjacent room. But when the president mentioned this himself in person earlier, he said they were found in storage areas and in his personal library. So can you just clear this up? Which room?
The president lied to you. I'll clear it up for you right there. The president lied. His description of where they were found is nothing like the other descriptions of where it's found.
Well, he is a pathological liar. So
he really is. You know what? Like you said the other day, it was found with his 3 degrees.
Exactly.
Hanging on a wall in his study.
Yeah, next to his perfect attendance record.
Yes.
Room, where were the documents actually found in his residence?
Okay, so let me just step back because I know all of you will have a lot of questions. So I'll lay this out very clearly and precisely. I want to make sure no one
clearly and precisely. Strap in, guys. Strap in.
Is confused, as you just said, Mary. As soon as the president's lawyers found these documents, they immediately contacted Archives and Department of Justice, as I've said many times already, to ensure that they were handled properly. The president has said this: we are being fully cooperative with the Department of Justice throughout this process. As part of the president's lawyers look through the places where documents could have been stored, and the council's office released, as you said, a statement explaining that. So I would refer you back to the statement. I don't have anything more to say, but that search was completed last night.
The question that she's supposed to be clarifying is, where were they? Because the president gave a different answer than the statement she just said.
Yeah.
So to wrap that up, the president lied. All right, enough of this bitch. Let's go watch the Peter Ducey one so we can wrap this up. It's right.
No, I kept waiting for her to say something to the effect of, yeah, we found it in your mom. How's that? Leave me alone.
Oh, I had the time wrong. It's a little before. It's the 54 mark. All right, here we go.
Just one more, Karine. Do you acknowledge that the fact that the White House did not reveal this to the public, despite the fact that you've known about it for months, undercuts the president's promise of being transparent with the American people?
But here's the thing. They were transparent. There was.
Yeah, that happened. Does the fact you guys hid this for months undercut him saying we're going to be transparent? It was transparent.
It depends how you understand that sentence, because from a certain point of view, it was transparent to archives because they reported directly to them.
Cryptic, thank you. She lies as much as I lie about Mickey's height. Oh, sorry, about Mickey's. Yeah, it says Mickey, her height. Mickey's height. This woman's bad at her job. She's really bad at her job. She can't even bullshit well, and that's what you have to be able to do in this job.
Yeah, that Jen Psaki, for all her demon ways, was much better at this job because she was a much more effective liar. And she'd do that little smile, like, that's off limits, you idiot.
She was more personable, even as ugly as she was. Have a good night, Shroom. Hope you have a good one, my friend.
Later, Shroom.
There was transparency in doing what you're supposed to do when these items were discovered.
You could have said it immediately when they were found. That would be transparent.
Well, no, she didn't say transparent with the public.
Right. Well,
transparent.
I just stepped on it. The lawyer, the reporter, you got to listen real close. The reporter goes, not with the public.
Transparency in doing what you're supposed to do when these items were discovered.
Not with the American people.
Look, I am here standing in front of you answering these questions, right?
Are you?
Look, we hid it for months, but I'm here now answering these questions. So that's transparency right there.
President took 2 questions this week on this. You've heard, wait, let me just answer.
The president took 2 questions this week about this.
2 questions.
Oh, that's
2
so nice
whole
of him.
questions. That's transparency after we hid it for months.
Yeah.
Literally known about right before the election by their own timeline. And they look, I'm answering you now.
You've heard from the White House counsel who put out multiple statements on this.
Yeah.
And so, again, this is an ongoing process.
She keeps saying process like that means a fucking thing.
Yeah, she tends to get stuck on one word and just uses it over and over again. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, she does. Frosty said, when we got caught, we were completely transparent. Yes, that's basically what she's saying here.
Yeah.
We want to respect the process.
The process.
And we have laid out very clearly what occurred.
Bitch, you were just asked specific this. I mean, we jumped, of course, but you were asked, could you clarify and tell us where the documents were? And you didn't answer that, even though you said, I want to clarify. And now you go, look, we've laid this all out for you. I fucking hate these people. And you know what, Jack? I wouldn't mind so much if I didn't know that in a week, nobody will care about this. Suddenly it'll be a gone thing. We'll see the news bitching because the Republicans are daring to investigate. That's what the headline will change to.
Yeah. They're harassing an old man or something.
Yeah.
And then he'll start a war in Ukraine so that we can look the other way on this one.
If I thought that these people would stay on this story and actually care about it, I wouldn't get so angry, but god damn.
Again, don't want to get ahead of this. The Department of Justice, you all can
Ahead of it.
will get
Ahead of it.
your questions.
We're months behind it, bitch. Oh, I really am waiting for Ducey. I'm going to shut up till he comes on.
Questions answered from them during this time, and so I would just refer you to the Department of Justice. And now, as you all know, there's a special counsel dealing with this. Go ahead.
Thank you, Karine. Another one on GarageGate. What is the White House trying to hide?
To be fair, that should be garage door.
Yeah, it should be. I just love that was his question. What are you trying to hide? What are you trying to hide? Now, he does this on purpose just to piss her off.
Yep, and it works.
And it really does. And you'll see that not in this answer, but in the next answer to his follow-up.
Well, it's a legitimate question because why were they hiding this for so long? And
Yeah.
what were the lawyers involved in this for?
Yeah. Why? Never mind. That's been my question all along. Why the fuck were the lawyers going through all of his stuff? I mean, we understand it now for his house because they'd already found shit. And they're like, oh my God, we got to go through his other stuff.
Yeah, they were looking for his power of attorney because he's senile.
Yeah, they should really go through those 30,000 documents that are sitting at the, it's not even a library because they didn't build the presidential library for Barack Hussein Obama. But the National Archives turned over 30,000 documents. You know, all those documents that are supposed to be kept at the National Archives, they just gave them to him. Those should probably be gone through.
Aren't those in like some kind of like old furniture store or something?
Yeah. But don't worry, there's nothing secret in there.
Yeah, nothing at all. Nothing corrupt.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing.
Someone gave the president a statement to read on Tuesday that was incomplete at best, misleading at worst. Who?
Yep.
That's a legitimate question. Who wrote that for him to say?
Yeah, because it was incorrect. Remember, from the beginning of this, they found some in one place, and they knew that they'd been found elsewhere. You know, they could have kept it vague, Jack, and been like, documents were found and left it at that. And then you could go, well, we didn't say how many places. But no, they found them in just there.
So I have read out the president's statement. I have read it out yesterday and what he said.
Uh-huh.
He said that he respects or he takes classified information and documents very seriously.
That's not the part he's talking about, bitch.
Yeah, and if he takes them so seriously, why are they in his garage?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? Maybe he just really likes his Corvette and they were keeping it warm.
He stitched them together to make a blankie for his Corvette.
Like a homeless person, you know, shoving paper in their coat.
Yeah, stay warm.
That's what he said. He said that he did not know that the records were there. He does not know what's in them.
He also told us he had 3 degrees from college, so...
Yeah, just because he doesn't remember right now doesn't mean he did take those on purpose.
He said that. You heard from him directly on this. And his team has been cooperating fully. And not only that, again, I'll say this. The Attorney General said this.
See how angry she's getting? I fucking love this.
Himself, that he heard from the team shortly after. So
Heard from the team shortly after.
So how long was shortly after? A week? 2 weeks?
It's a good question. Oh, by the way, she's still not fully pissed.
No, not yet.
It's the next question that gets her all the way. She's just working up to it.
So we have laid out
No, you haven't.
what has occurred here.
No, you
We have
haven't.
heard from the White House counsel. I just read the statement.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain if you ask that guy who got arrested for lying to investigators about his missing wife, he'll tell you he told his story too.
Yeah. Fully.
So we got to believe him. He said it.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like people lie to cover themselves.
OJ absolutely didn't kill his wife. He's still looking for that killer.
Yeah, he's going to check every golf course in the world if he has to.
And we got to believe him because that's what he said. I fucking hate these people.
statement from his lawyer. And again, we take this very seriously, and the president does as well.
When will the White House release a log of visitors to the Wilmington house?
Okay, now we haven't talked about this part yet. Wilmington House is where they found these documents, his personal residence area in the garage and stuff. And Peter's asking, when are you going to release a log of the people who went through there? Which is a legitimate question. That's a fair question when you're talking about documents that were unsecured, unless you believe Biden just happened to have a whole bunch of locked cases everywhere. It's a legitimate question to ask that.
Yeah. Well, maybe watch it come out that there's a Chinese spy working as gardener.
Probably. It's
but
called his son.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit.
Now,
her answer is just...
That doesn't seem like a very triggering question to me. It's a very... we don't have a time frame. We're not going to release that. We'll give it to you next Tuesday. All kinds of answers for this. It's not where Karine goes.
Peter, you've asked this question, or your colleagues have asked this question before. Let's not forget what we did here in this White House. We instituted something that the last administration got rid of, which is putting out the White House, making sure that there was a White House log, extensive White House log, so the American people got to see.
House where there is potentially unsecured classified material.
Again, I am telling you, we did something that the last administration got rid of, which is instituting the White House logs. Did you ask the last administration why they got rid of the White House logs? Okay, let's go. Let's go.
She refuses. Wait, let's finish her.
Well, did Fox did? Go ahead.
Okay. When are you gonna release this? Hey. Did you ask Trump why he got rid of the logs here? He didn't get rid of the logs, by the way. They're still there. We a more comprehensive log. Bitch lost her mind over this. Karine, just to help you out here. I know you suck at your job. So somebody send this to Karine so she can hear me. Give her a timestamp. It's 57 minutes in. This made you guys look guilty as shit. You don't lose your shit like that and start pointing fingers at other people when you have nothing to hide.
Yeah, she answered that with a non-answer. He's like, when are you going to release these logs? And her immediate answer was, we instituted a policy to make that transparent for you. You're welcome. Unlike the last administration, you got rid of it. That had nothing to do with the question that she was asked. And look how mad she is when she gives that non-answer.
Yeah, so you just made it look worse. That's all. I don't know how to help you on that, other than tell you maybe you shouldn't be doing shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should, I don't know, talk to somebody who's done that job better than you have. Yeah. Anyhow, I don't know why this is linked here. I'm looking for something specific, Jack. Our favorite congressman was talking again today, and
Ted
no, Hank Johnson.
Oh,
and he suggested that these documents that have been found, they were planted.
Yes, I saw this.
They were planted, you guys. Alleged classified documents showing up allegedly in the possession of Joseph Biden. Things can be planted in places and then discovered conveniently. That may be what's happened here.
Yeah, he's not the only one saying this either,
no.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah, in order to believe this, you have to believe that all those secure places where Biden had these materials were so unsecure that people could sneak classified documents in there.
Like, you got to watch those MAGA people. They're like ninja demons or something.
Fuck, man. Planted by the Russians. Rogue thoughts. So far, we haven't seen anybody blame the Russians for it, but hold on to that because they will. It's not that Joe Biden didn't handle these things properly, Jack. It's that somebody put him in there.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Joe.
No, monkey, bad monkey.
All right. Next, we have some sensitive content. Okay, we have some sensitive content we got to listen to, Jack.
Are we going to talk about clitorises?
No. Well, maybe, kind of. He is as sensitive as a clit. Eric Swalwell. He's getting death threats.
Oh no! Was he farting somewhere again?
No. This is in relation to McCarthy wanting to keep him off the Intel committee
because he's been compromised.
Because he's been compromised. His campaign was boosted by the Chinese, and he had a Chinese spy working in his fucking office
that he was probably banging.
Most likely, yeah, he was banging him. But his office put out the audio of it, Jack. Make sure I have this up all the way.
It's just one long.
He said, "This is what happens." Well, we'll read it after we hear it.
Getting your ass kicked off the committee is the least of your problems. The American people aren't going to be happy till we see you fucking hang by the neck until dead. Legally. Through trial. Have a nice swing, asshole.
That is not a death threat.
No. Oh my God, they're going to put you on trial.
Oddly enough, every couple of months, Eric has one of these. And oddly enough, they all sound like they're coming from the same person.
Yeah.
Just as an example, this one is from August 10th of 2022. The guy's a little more drunk, but it's the same voice. And there's like 3 or 4 of these that this asshole has put on. Look, they want to kill me. Go ahead, play. There you go.
First of all, I want to say, not me, but I hope someone cuts that mother.
All right, I can't let the rest of that play because he says something horrible, and that'll get us in trouble. But yeah, all of them have the same accent and everything. Eric, if you're getting these, you really should be turning them over to the FBI so they can go find these guys, because this one actually is a death threat. Oddly enough, I haven't heard you do that. You just whine about this stuff happening.
Yeah. Well, look, monkey. These are probably his cousins or something that are really wasted. Maybe his dad. I'm not sure. He seems pretty disappointing as a son.
Well, I got to get back to the one. This is what he says about the first one we heard. The one said you should swing. This death threat is what happens when the FBI repeatedly says I've done nothing wrong, and yet Kevin McCarthy persists in spreading lies about me out of pure vengeance. Vengeance? Over what? You being a dick? But yeah, that's what he does now. He goes on and look at this death threat because Kevin McCarthy won't keep my compromised ass off the committees. Yeah, fuck off.
I'm surprised this guy can manage to do Twitter, because we've gotten worse shit than this on Twitter.
Oh yeah. The next one up, this is kind of goes into what we talked about at the end of the show yesterday. Andy No tweeted this out saying, a follower sent me this from the certification exam for the American Board of Family Medicine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to read the rest of what it says because we're just going to read the thing. The American Board of Family Medicine. The question is, a 13-year-old who was assigned female at birth. This is a medical association, by the way. Assigned female. Assigned female at birth has been diagnosed with gender dysphoria. His parents fully support their child and affirm his gender as male. On examination, the patient has a sexual maturity rating of Tanner stage 3. Which one of the following steps would be appropriate for optimal support and therapy for this patient? The actual answer here that you're supposed to give is recommend GnRH analog treatment, which is hormone therapy. It's puberty blockers is what it is. 13, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
The answer that the person gave was recommending delayed gender affirmation treatment until he's at least 18 years old to prevent adverse psychological outcomes of puberty suppression. And that, nah. Let's not do that. What you need to do is immediately start them on the old puberty blockers. That's how you treat kids. Because I don't get it myself, Jack. I'm a little too what's the word I'm looking for here? Normal. Now,
yeah.
Next up on our docket, God damn it, Jake Tapper. I hate this guy some days. I really do. But you know how you can make Jake Tapper even worse? Have Paul Ryan on as his guest. Paul Ryan has a new book out, so he's doing the rounds, and he was on with Jake Tapper, and this happened.
I know that when you were speaker and Donald Trump was president, you guys would talk about this, and he did not understand why you would ever want to do it because it's bad politics.
That's right. That's right. He just didn't think it was ever popular. And
he has, and I'm not blaming this all on him, but he has certainly empowered the kind of populism you're talking about, smash mouth, clicks, cable hits on Fox, etc., where you're a board member, by the way. He has popularized that. He has empowered that. We saw it last week. So how can this be achieved even within the Republican Party before you even get to the Democrats?
A couple things.
Now, I'm not exactly sure what the fuck Jake is asking there. That he's very, it sounds like he's trying to keep from saying penis or something. Because he's very vague about the way he's saying it. But anyway, it's really unimportant. Paul's answer is the important thing here. It's absolutely asinine. I just want to remind you guys, Paul Ryan was the Speaker of the House from 2015 to 2019. Keep that in mind.
He's fading fast. He's a proven loser. He cost us the House in 18.
Donald Trump cost them the House in 2018. You know who was the Speaker? It's the guy on your screen right now. You know who wouldn't give Trump funding for the wall? The guy on the screen right now.
Yeah.
You know who kept Republican priorities from moving through the House? The guy on the screen right now. Having the balls to get up there as the person who was Speaker of the House at the time and who kept so many conservative priorities from going through and then blaming that on Trump? I don't care what you think about Trump, but go fuck yourself. This was you. This was you. Trump had popular support, and you wouldn't give him the things. The only thing you gave him was tax cuts. Great. You gave your enemies something to point to and go, look, you helped the rich. And then you didn't even fire back against that shit. You just let it hang out there in the wind. You fucking douchebag. Sorry, I had to interrupt there.
Fading fast. He's a proven loser. He cost us.
Proven loser. 200 candidates supported by Trump won in this last election. What was it? 20 that lost?
Yeah, something like that. A shocking amount of them won.
The proven loser who had a 90% approval rating, or I guess elected rating. All right, keep going. I mean, you guys, I do not understand why the Republicans, they're not even going after Trump for not being conservative enough. They're just going after Trump for being Trump.
He's Trump. He's not like them, and they don't like that. Only the culled selected people may join the nobility monkey.
Oh.
He's an outsider. How dare he gain wealth?
You think roaming millennial ever saw this guy's penis? I should ask her that if I ever get to talk to her again.
Oh, she worked for him, did she?
Yeah, she was an intern in his office.
Oh.
The House in 18. He cost us the White House in 20. He cost us the Senate again and again. And I think we all know that. And I think we're moving past Trump. I really think that's the case. I can't imagine him getting.
He costs us the Senate again and again. Maybe, and I'm just throwing this out there, if the money spent on Murkowski had gone to Oz instead, maybe if you guys got behind the people, the senators that he was behind, maybe things would have worked out differently.
Yeah, they probably could have had a nice red state in Arizona by backing Masters and Kerry Lake, but they were Trump backed, so that didn't happen. I think Paul Ryan's got a lot to answer for that he's not willing to because he obviously doesn't like Trump.
Look, again, I don't care how you feel about Trump, but trying to blame him for what happened in 2022 when it was the Republicans to lose is fucking retarded.
Yeah, this is on the RNC and McConnell and McCarthy and Ryan. I would absolutely put him on that list. Because these people all tried to make people disinterested in Trump-backed candidates.
Yeah. Trump got the highest vote of any incumbent ever. That's true. Yeah. Increased his vote nearly every demo in 2020, but whatever. Yeah, we're not allowed to. I mean, we can point that out. We just can't point out how weird it is for an incumbent to increase their vote and still lose.
Yeah, they have been downplaying him for years.
Oh, yeah. Hell, they really didn't even want him to be their candidate in 2016.
Yeah.
They threw everything they could at anybody else they could. For most Republicans these days, Ted Cruz is too conservative for him. But boy, did they hang their hat on him hoping he could beat Trump. When it came down to just the two of them, Ministry of Wrong Thing, thank you so much. The fact that the Republicans had the presidency, the House, and the Senate back in 2017, yet didn't actually push Trump's agenda, should be the biggest watershed moment proving that the uniparty exists. Yeah.
Yeah. He even said, bring me your replacement for Obamacare, bring me some legislation on the border wall, because presidents don't write legislation. That's the legislature's job.
Yep.
Shockingly. They didn't have anything and they didn't bother to push anything.
You want to see the reason that 2018 went the way it did, 2020 went the way it did? You want to look at this guy right here. Anyhow. Oh, thank you, Seal. Trump had an 80% win rate in 2022, and it's all Trump's fault they lost. It was more than 80%. Because,
well, I mean, even if you lowball it at 70, it's still fucking amazing that one person has that much influence.
Yeah, and for them to keep going, he's a proven loser. That's just a lie. It's just a lie. Anyhow, Paul Ryan looking like the caucus somehow. He's got the Reagan hair going on. Young Reagan.
Getting the nomination, frankly. And I don't mean this because I don't want him to get the nomination. I just don't think he will as an analytical point. The thing that I take solace in with all the machinations you saw last week, most of that wasn't personal. Most of that was around fiscal responsibility. Most of that was about a concern about spending, inflation.
He's talking about the holdup of McCarthy.
Yeah.
Inflation and debt. That's great. I think you need to persuade the country as to the solutions and the problem. And I don't think brinksmanship solves those things. But what's behind that is a good thing, which is Republicans finally reacquiring their moorings on the party of fiscal responsibility and limited government.
I'm going to pause it right there and we're going to stop watching. I just want to point out, when he had the House, the Republicans had the Senate, and Donald Trump was in office. They could have cut anything they wanted to. They could not have been filibustered in the Senate because it would have been a reconciliation bill. It would have been a budget bill, basically, is what reconciliation's involved in. The Democrats could not have stopped them. Did you do anything like that, Paul? Did you?
Why would you want to do that?
I'm glad to see them getting back to their moors and getting back to fiscal responsibility. You piece of shit. How fucking dare you? But this is what we get from the Republicans all the time. Lip service. Oh yeah, it's great to see them get back to their roots. What?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Real quick, thank you, Cryptic. This is one for Mickey. My dad couldn't stop collecting and reading books about The Hobbit. He's a huge Bilbo file.
The last thing I think is the last thing I have. This is just I kind of want to watch this chick. Okay. The last main thing we have, it's not even a main thing, but the last kind of story thing. Shoe on Head has disappeared from Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the account is gone. It's not suspended or anything. It's just gone. And I don't know why. Nobody has any real answer to why, but God damn it, my phone keeps blowing up. It's just it's an oddity. So if anybody has any information on that, hit me up in my DMs. Get it to my cousin over there at Angry Monkey 422 on Twitter, because I'm very curious what's going on. This isn't one of those things, Jack, like, oh, we desperately need her back, but that just kind of screams something went on in the background and I need to know.
Oh, yeah, your drama sense went off. I'd be willing to bet it's something innocuous, like she's cleaning out her Twitter, or maybe she got a new boyfriend or something.
I mean, perhaps. All right, little palate cleanser before we get into yours, Jack. And I apologize for this, but I can't help it. I need a sound check because this bitch is really loud and I turned it down. I need to make sure it's not too low. Go.
Something I am...
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So, let's just let it play.
Something I am ridiculously excited about for 2023 is the fact that the super fancy X-ray, most sophisticated X-ray machine basically in the entire world has decided to point its energy towards the Library of Herculaneum, which is essentially like one of the only intact ancient libraries that we still have, but because of the whole Pompeii boom Vesuvius volcano situation, all of it got like carbonized. So we know that the paper is preserved, but
that's really cool. And hopefully we can find some interesting old text, Jack. But it doesn't stop there, unfortunately.
Haven't been able to read it till literally like right now. What I'm excited for, like people are like, ooh, the work of Sappho might be in there. There might be this document. Astrology text could be really cool in that library. But what I'm most excited about, considering the time period during ancient Rome this happened in, if Agrippina the Younger's autobiography that she wrote herself is in that library, I will not be able to stop crying. And there's a chance that it's possible. I asked her about it because I channel her in regularly. She's
Go on.
Coming up in channeled history very, very soon in my series I'm doing. And she doesn't know if it is, or she doesn't know if it survived Nero, but I will be so happy.
Yep, that's right. She wants to see if a book is in the library buried under the Vesuvius ash because a ghost told her it might be there. You know, Jack, when I first saw that and she starts talking about that is really cool. That's awesome. And then she brings up that she's channeling dead people from way back when.
Oh yeah. Well, some people they do a channeling. Maybe some automatic writing. She could have rewritten the book for her from memory.
Fuck. Seal, thank you so much. Check Angry Monkey's DMs, please. Will do. All right, Jack. So we need to go ahead and get on to the rest of this because hopefully we can get through a whole show for a change.
I do want to know why that book was stored at a library in a circus.
That's a good question. Seal, I'll have to check all that stuff out later, dude. That's a little bit more than I can read and process on air. All right. So first up, oh God. This goes back to Hank Johnson.
Yeah, I thought I'd lead with something that, because I dropped the link before you talked about Hank, so I was hoping to surprise you with your favorite person ever.
Joy Behar suggests Republicans planted documents on Biden to help Trump. Somehow these documents appear. I've never seen a luckier person than Donald Trump, Behar lamented on Thursday's View. The View co-host Joy Behar said Thursday that she didn't know a luckier person. Yeah, that's up there. I've never seen a luckier person. Just as we're this close to getting him. They're going to get him, Jack.
They're going to get him. You got to chat.
Yeah, thank you, Seal. Hang on, I got to bring that up. I can't see it because there we go. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it, Seal. And Black Dynamite, thank you. Hey, Monkey, do you want to hear a pizza joke? Sure. I like jokes. Just as we're this close to getting him, somehow these documents appear. This close to getting him how?
Oh, okay. Oh, no. Remember, they're always going to get him. This will be the thing that gets him. It's the probe with the documents. But now somebody planted these and offset that, because if they prosecute Trump for it, they have to prosecute Biden for it, too. They won't totally sweep this under the rug because Merrick Garland has a vengeful thing.
Thank you, Black Dynamite, who says, I hope it won't be too cheesy. Appreciate that. Here's the thing. Even if none of these Biden documents were found, Joy, I need you to listen, okay? They probably wouldn't have done anything about the documents at Mar-a-Lago and stuff. There's already precedent for this with what happened with Hillary and everything. At worst, it's going to be like, okay, don't do that again. That's it. Anybody who thought that the secret documents at Mar-a-Lago was going to be the final nail in that coffin, you're just fucking stupid. Co-host Alyssa Farah Griffin argued that Biden was building Trump's defense for him and added that he was wrong to have done this. He is wrong, co-host Sonny Hostin agreed. Co-host Whoopi Goldberg emphasized waiting to find out what this is first. It's funny watching them try to keep their integrity based on all the shit they said about the Trump documents.
Yeah, because they have to square that circle somehow.
Let's find out what this is. Again, one of the things that gets me crazy is before we know it's already been spun a specific way, Goldberg said. I don't want to see that. I want to see. Of course you don't. I want to see someone explain to me how it's possible that after all this time, nobody knew. Because to me, if you're missing classified information, I don't mean to laugh, but in my house, if stuff is missing, I know it's missing. Well, here's the problem, dummy. It's not like there's despite what Obama tells you, because Obama supposedly, Jack, instituted a system where every classified document goes into a record so they know what they all are. Okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean you know how many copies of all of them there are.
Yeah. Well, and I imagine some records slip through the cracks, human error or obfuscation, depending on situation. There's a lot of reasons that these documents could have been overlooked. There's no record of them. There's only one copy. There's multiple copies. There's a lot of reasons plus just general incompetence. People don't do their jobs or transitions. Somebody knows that there's supposed to be a document here, but they lose their job when the new administration comes in and they don't bother to tell anyone.
There's a ton of reasons why this stuff could have ended up there, and entirely innocent, Jack. Entirely innocent. I still think when it comes to the Trump documents, some of the stuff I think he took because he believed they're his, like the Kim Jong-un letter.
Yeah.
And some of them I think just got all mixed up with all of the shit they're taking out as they're moving out.
Yeah, not everybody who's packing the boxes knows what's supposed to stay and what isn't. They might just be grabbing piles of stuff and toss them in boxes because they hate their fucking job.
Hostin asked Goldberg whether it felt like the Republicans were behind it and whether it felt like Oppo research. It did originally, but not now. Because one of the things he is saying is that, some of the location where the docs may have been shipped in the transition may have gotten taken and put. That's a real sentence, she said.
It is.
Anyhow, yeah, so Behar's one of them on the Republicans did it. Jesus Christ. Fucking retards. Did anybody suggest that the Democrats did it to Trump? Because maybe that's what happened there. We do know the
No.
Democrats are guilty a lot of times of blaming you for what they themselves are doing.
No, Monkey. They are pure righteous people. They are the sophisticated elites. Why would they stoop to such lowly mega tactics? That's something
right.
that evil megas would do.
Right. All right. Oh, fuck. Good luck, Arizona. Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs proposes $40 million in taxpayer money for illegal aliens to attend state universities.
Yeah.
All right. Look, no. We've talked about the illegal thing and how you need to stop giving them free shit, right?
Yeah.
While I don't agree with it, I can understand the argument that we give free education to people, K through 12, and so it shouldn't be any different here. I love you, Mr. Jack. I want to have your children. Anuwaka, the merciful. Thank you so much for the donation. Jack, you have somebody who wants to have your babies.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll consider it.
All right. He's considering you having his babies. Send all naked photos to Matt Jarbo.
Don't tell people to send me naked.
I didn't. I said Matt Jarbo.
Photos. I get enough of that shit. Close DMs.
I said Matt Jarbo.
Yes. Send it to my alternate identity. Just preemptively striking that.
I wouldn't do that. You got very angry about that.
No, because people send me horrific shit.
Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs is proposing a state-funded scholarship with $40 million in taxpayer money to help illegal aliens attend state universities and colleges. Yeah, sounds right. Did she talk about this during the campaign at all?
I don't think so.
Because, if she talked about it through the campaign, this is news because she's proposing it for real, but, it would just be her doing what she said. Anybody from Arizona out there know if she did that? Because I would imagine. Typically, Democrats aren't scared of saying shit like this. What campaign? That's a good question. That's a good point, man. In her inaugural address, Hobbs vowed to expand Arizona's Promise Scholarship Program, which helps low-income students pay tuitions and fees to attend universities, while creating the Promise for Dreamers Scholarship, of course. Cover all students regardless of immigration status.
We knew this shit was coming. More of your tax dollars being flushed away to people that don't appreciate it, didn't earn it, and don't deserve it. It shouldn't even be here in the fucking first place.
Sucky, thank you so much, Mr. Jack. I love you long time, baby. You have the wrong picture for Jack on that. That's a white chick. You need to use go steal a picture of an Asian girl if you're going to do that. I'm just trying to help you out. For American students in Arizona, the cost to attend college is immensely expensive. Average in-state tuition is about $4,500. That figure goes up to more than $20,000 when books, supplies, room, and board are added. Yeah, that's ridiculous that it adds all of that for room, board, supplies, and books. That should make people question our college system.
It should also make people question why this money isn't being given to like Veterans Administration or healthcare for young people in poor neighborhoods, and not being in any way given to an American citizen who might be needy. There are plenty of people that right now, and they're giving this to illegal fucking aliens. You're getting rewarded for criminal activity.
Faithless says you don't catfish Jack, you coy him. Indeed.
That's true.
But anyway, they're going to give money to aliens. I don't know what their breakdown for their house and their legislature. I don't even know how their legislature breaks down, whether it's a house or an assembly. Good luck, Arizona. You guys got her. This one, I'm ready to fuck right now. Okay. I'm ready to fuck right now. I'm not going to be gentle either. OIG report details Chicago public school teacher sexual grooming assaults of their students. Hundreds of Chicago public school teachers sexually groomed, assaulted, and raped Chicago public school students last year. Yeah, I saw a report on that. According to, there it is right there. There's a link. According to the report released this week by the CPS Office of the Inspector General, which said it received more than 600 adult on-student misconduct allegations for the 2021-2022 school year, substantiating more than half of them and initiating criminal charges in 16 cases. Wait. Okay, if my math is correct, half of 600 is 300, and you only brought cases in 16 or criminal cases in 16 of those cases?
Well, to be fair, Monkey, in the other cases, the kids agreed to go campaign for Lori Lightfoot.
Jesus Christ.
As part of their externship.
They include a CPS teacher who groomed and sexually assaulted a 17-year-old student on 3 occasions. The student said that she began to think of him as her friend and therapist, and that he touched and groped the student while hugging her, touching her thighs and buttocks under the pretext of removing lint from her clothing. I like the way you look in your jeans, the student recounted, the teacher saying. You know, guys, this is why we talk to you about the whole grooming thing. It's a real thing. And it starts off with them trying to be friendly. You know, when we were kids, your teacher wasn't your friend.
No, they were a person of authority.
Your teacher didn't share their sexuality with you and try to get you in a room alone so they could help you change into the dress after dad leaves. Because that's not what they're there for. And it's dangerous to allow that kind of stuff. Allegations against the teachers were in part corroborated by text messages on CPS-sanctioned Remind app, Snapchat records, and a student witness who overheard a conversation between a teacher and a student, as well as the teacher's own statements.
Real quick, thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. You know exactly why they're doing this. Fuck the American people. You think freely and not like the Democrats. Time to be replaced with freeloaders who are dependent on the Dems. That's exactly it. They want a new slave class, people that are completely dependent on the government so that they could be controlled.
The teacher, this is the one who with the lint and grabbing or rubbing the girl's butt, who's currently fighting termination with the Illinois State Board of Education, was charged with multiple counts of sexual assault, but acquitted by a Cook County jury in November. The IOG found that the CPS junior ROTC staff member had sex with a female CPS high school student over the course of a year when she was 16 to 17 years old, providing her with alcohol and asking her to buy marijuana for him from her fellow students. Jesus Christ.
Hey, will you get some weed for me? It's a weird thing to ask a student, especially when you're banging.
An investigation revealed hundreds of text messages and calls between the staff and the student, including overly sexual ones. I'm ready to fuck right now. I'm not going to be gentle either. He later threatened to kill the student and her family if they disclosed the relationship to investigators. Other sex incidents, Jesus fucking Christ. Other sex incidents include an employee of CPS vendor asked a 4th grade student why her lips were chapped and then stated that the student's lips were chapped because she was sucking dick. That seems highly inappropriate.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
I hope she wasn't using Eden Arden or whatever the fuck.
Elizabeth Arden.
Elizabeth Arden as a. We don't want to get Harry excited again. CPS high school gym teacher who repeatedly exposed himself to one sophomore girl and connected with another 15-year-old on social media and sent her photos and videos of himself masturbating and engaging in other sex acts. Oh, God. All right. I'm not reading the rest of this. We're going to close it. We're going to throw it in that for you. Yeah, I saw this study came out a week or so ago. And this is just Chicago, guys. This isn't like worldwide. This isn't the whole country. It's Chicago.
Just Chicago public schools, which as I recall, does not include any private schools in the study. So this might actually be worse. But yeah, this is pretty fucked up stuff. The fact they only went after 13 or 16 of these cases. It's pretty disgusting. Some of these teachers are probably back in the classroom by now.
And remember, they brought 16 cases and one of them was found not guilty.
Yep.
Now, look, in that case, that's the one where he's hugging. Why are you hugging students?
Yeah, that's weird. Like, hey, boundaries, personal space. I have a space bubble. Stay away from me. I don't like hugging people normally anyway, but I don't understand why you want to get handsy with your kids, especially if you're a male teacher. That's an incredibly dangerous idea.
You know how you can avoid charges for groping a young girl? Keep your hands off her.
Yeah.
Completely. What the fuck? Thank you, Rodline. The teacher did try to explain that he goes both ways, men and boys. Wow. Oh, man. Yeah, that's some dirty shit going on. And then these people are out there like, no, it's not grooming. Yes, it is. They want to be friends with these kids, and that is the start. That's how they drag them in there and end up banging them. Your teacher, your child's teacher should not be your child's friend.
No, they're professional. They're there to do a job, not to make buddies.
And all of these fucking teachers that we see on TikTok and such, where they're like, they're my best friends. Why? Why are you so fucking weird that your best friends are people who are under your watch?
Yeah, we had to take a professionalism course when I was in college for education, and they told us specifically that the kids are not your friends. You're not there to be friends with them. You're an authority figure.
Yeah,
and they'd tell you what your boundaries were and how you could. They didn't want you to abuse your authority, stuff like that. But they've obviously gotten rid of that shit.
Greg said this is all because of the "my parent is my friend" thing. I hear what you're getting at with that, but it's not. This is it's different. It's all because of the kind of it takes a village thing.
Yeah,
because they're your parents, they're your friends, they're your siblings. Even your teachers are there to help you in everything you ever need. That's not what a teacher's for.
I think they're prongs of the same ideology. That whole thing of like kids are mini adults that people seem to go back to. Hey, real quick, thank you, Keldrig. Putting the P in PE. Yeah, please don't touch the kids with your pee.
Yeah, keep that away. Jesus fucking Christ, man. What the hell have we done to this world?
We've let the degenerates and the commies run things.
Migrants are drinking all day, having sex in the stairs in taxpayer-funded New York hotels, according to a whistleblower. Sure, why not? At least, hey, at least they're not touching kids.
Well, we don't know that.
An employee at Row, one of the New York City's best-known hotels, became a whistleblower Wednesday after he released video and photos of illegal migrants trashing the hotel and leaving fresh food out to rot. You got video of that, but not him fucking? Come on, dude. Come on. I don't want to see him throwing trash around and letting food rot. I want to see him bang. For research purposes. It's a disgrace, Roe New York City employee Felipe, I don't know, Rodriguez said on Fox News to host Lori Ingram. The chaos that we see at the Roe today is caused by migrants being drunk, drinking all day, smoking marijuana, and consuming drugs. He also said that Roe is struggling with domestic violence. You didn't get that on tape either. You could have saved somebody. Monk, you
Again,
nasty. What?
That's for his personal collection.
Come on, Ebony. You don't want to see people doing it in the stairs of a rundown hotel that was destroyed by migrants who don't have anywhere else to live. It's basically
a very specific subgenre that's hard to find footage for.
It's it's basically a homeless shelter now, and they're banging in the hallways. That's awesome.
Yeah. Have you ever tried looking up homeless porn? There's a shocking lack of it.
Give life a chance. Thank you, Chaos One. Every time I hear it takes a village, I remember Hillary's women are the primary victims of war. They are the ones who lose sons, brothers, and husbands. Yeah. Hillary said a lot of really stupid shit.
Well,
yeah.
Socialist.
It's not that guy who gave his life. It's the ones left behind. Yeah. Look, it is hard on them. I'm not going to say it's not, but I feel like the guy who gave his life, not the way she said that George Floyd gave his life. That was Pelosi, never mind. Yeah. But still, not the way they think he gave his life. So, young people having sex in the stairs and a fight between a migrant. You didn't get the fight on tape either? This guy sucks with his phone. All you got was trash. I'm not saying that he's wrong about this stuff happening, Jack. But I just feel like he should break his phone out a little more often. World Star. Rodriguez shared videos of fresh, good food sitting out to rot in trash cans because the migrants don't want to eat them. They said they don't like it. This is all food that's going to waste. This is insane. I'll give them dirt. That's what they like to eat. More than 36,400 migrants have come to New York City in the last few months and have been housed at just 14 hotels. That is a lot of people in those hotels. I feel like there's a lot of humping. Kaz One, thank you. Well, it's like a man to leave the relationship. It is like a man to do that. You know what Hillary didn't say is that those guys, when they went out to fight wars and stuff, they probably bought cigarettes while they were there. Just saying. Rodriguez explained that the employees have lost control over the hotel. No shit. It's a homeless shelter. I'm just throwing that. I mean, that's what it is now. I'll throw this in the chat so you guys can read the rest of it. But I mean, taxpayers are paying for this. They're destroying this hotel. These hotels are going to have to be torn down, Jack. It's not like after you do this, you can just go back to normal. There's going to be piss all over the place. It's going to be all destroyed, and you're going to have to tear the damn thing down or gut it completely in order to ever make it back into an actual hotel. We already have a homeless problem in this country. Why is it that the government is paying for these illegals to be in those hotels, but not the homeless?
Because they don't care about American citizens. They only care about these illegals.
Can't believe he didn't get the humping on tape. Guys, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm telling you, he got it and he's keeping it. So it's probably his Pornhub account.
If you ever get the chance to film some people humping in public, please do so. And share it with the world. World Star. I think we need to change World Star from the violence to the humping, Jack. Sexy Latin maids. Yes, that's what we're looking for here.
Real quick. Thank you, Hugh, you fuck, who says, $5, love you long time. Yeah. Nice.
I just want to say, one of the funniest videos I ever watched was the two homeless people just banging out in the middle of the grass on a sidewalk. Did you ever see that video, Jack?
I don't think so.
It's these two homeless people. It's the grass right beside the sidewalk, right beside the road. So you have grass, sidewalk, and then more grass and every side. But they're in the little strip between the sidewalk and the road, and they're just humping. They do not even care that anybody might be watching or anything. I'm like, you know what? In a way, I kind of respect that. You got nothing. You got nothing. But you can still hump. So get your hump on.
I guess.
I would never even let my dog walk in that area where they hump, though. I mean, there's probably all kinds of disease, right? That's where COVID really started. A couple of homeless people banging in, I believe it was in Florida, if I remember right.
That wouldn't surprise me.
That story was a long, long time ago on Lords of the Night. I think SDA was still on the show at the time. Breaking, Navy Secretary says U.S. may need to choose between arming itself or Ukraine in the next 6 months. May need to?
Yeah, maybe.
Monkey's being a sex pest again. I ain't talking about having sex. I was talking about other people having sex.
You're not wrong, Sean, but it's kind of par for the course with the show.
That's not being a sex pest. How dare you? It's not. I wasn't suggesting sex with me and anybody else. I wasn't. How dare you?
Oh, so you're voyeuristic sex pesting.
I mean, you want to talk about voyeurism? Sure. I'm advocating that a little bit. I wouldn't say we're quite there yet, but if the conflict goes on for another 6 months or another year, it certainly continues to stress the supply chain in ways that are challenging. It's already been challenging. What are you talking about?
The way he's talking is, I think, politicians speak for, look, we need to stop this shit. We're in fucking trouble.
U.S. Navy Secretary Carlos del Toro has stated that within the next 6 months, the U.S. Navy may need to choose between arming itself or Ukraine, as weapons producers aren't making them quickly enough. Del Toro was asked by a reporter whether the Navy might get to the point where it has to make a decision whether it needs to arm itself or Ukraine, and has the Navy gotten to that point yet? His response, he responded by saying, with regards to deliveries of weapon systems for the fight in Ukraine, yeah, that's always a concern for us, and we monitor it very, very closely. Well, I mean, he's answering the guy's question, so it's not like he quite said it. I wouldn't say we're quite there yet. See, yeah. Frosted, thank you. Hobos humping, monkey smiles and tears up. Yeah, let them get their freak on.
That's the
as long as they're
beauty
not
of
doing it in front of
nature.
kids. If they
Was
want
it in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where you had all the homeless dudes banging each other under the underpass?
it was two homeless guys banging under the boardwalk in was it Atlantic City?
Oh yeah, that episode was fucked up.
Yeah, I forget. Wait, was it Atlantic City? I can't remember.
Yeah, 'cause they went to gamble and Charlie ended up on the beach with the nerd or the waitress.
Yeah, Charlie's with the waitress. It's the one that gave us the rum ham. It's the first episode with rum ham.
Yeah.
But yeah, they try to show Charlie how great the place is, so they take him under the boardwalk, and there's two bums butt fucking. Yeah. These questions came following comments made by a 4-star admiral who claimed the defense companies were using the pandemic as an excuse to delay weapon deliveries. What? Okay. I'm not talking about what it's doing to me. I'm talking about, of course, we're going to help a country deliver the stuff we need so they can win that conflict against Russia. And it's not going to destroy and set me back into the dark ages, Admiral Daryl Claude, head of the U.S. Fleet Forces Command, said. Well, nobody's talking about it going back into the dark ages, talking about just having enough to do what we need to do.
What, defend ourselves? I mean, America's on stolen land, monkey. Not like the beauty of Ukraine, which is a righteous nation full of good, solid people.
Ministry of Wrongs, thank you. Why are they openly discussing this in an official manner? This is literally info that will help our enemies know attack now. Well, it's hard to deny.
Yeah, I think our enemies already realized this.
There gets to be a point where we've given so many weapon systems, guys, that simple math makes it like, wait, where did all these go?
Yeah, especially now that we're talking about giving them Bradleys and Patriot missile batteries.
When the stuff is ordered, I mean, there is a list of the stuff that gets made and everything. There was no way to deny it. I hear what you're saying, and you're right. It's stuff that probably should be kept secret, but it doesn't really help to pretend it's not happening. What this should be is a call for our Congress to wake the fuck up and stop giving away all of our shit.
Nah, they don't care. We have a bunch of rhinos and Dems, like somebody just said, Chet. They're trying to destroy our wealth. They want a lower standard of living for the U.S. because they feel bad that we're so successful. So they got to bring us down by giving away everything we've got to poorer countries so they can lift them up.
Golden Globes for Best Short Film, Butt Bums, Call of the Booty. Yeah. Didn't the Golden Globes have like ridiculously low viewership this year?
Yeah.
And that's just going to keep getting worse as people get more and more away from traditional watching of television, because why would you watch that shit? Oh, look, a whole bunch of people from Hollywood patting themselves on the back.
Oh, but they're so amazing, Monkey. They're the bestest ever.
And as we have less and less films, because there are less of them now on, going to the theater.
Yeah.
I've never understood why with the big deal with them anyway. But more and more people seem to be, unless you're a gay man, you're probably not watching award season. Russia is now fighting NATO in Ukraine, top Putin ally says. One of President Vladimir Putin's closest allies said on Tuesday that Moscow is now fighting U.S.-led NATO military alliance in Ukraine and that the West was trying to wipe Russia from the political map of the world. Well, whether they are or not, it's good propaganda for them. I mean, they've got a point, because all of NATO, mostly us, mostly the United States, is helping out, throwing them bullets and missiles and all kinds of shit.
Sweet, sweet piles of money.
The only thing they don't have is NATO fighting forces. So he's not wrong. What? I mean, seriously, he's not wrong.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's very accurate.
The events in Ukraine are not a clash between Moscow and Kiev. This is a military confrontation between Russia and NATO and all of the above, and above all, the United States and Britain. Patrushev told the, Argumenti I Facti newspaper in an interview. The Westerners' plans are to continue to pull Russia apart and eventually just erase it from the political map of the world. I mean, it's whether we are or not, it is what Mr. Zelensky is asking for, and we are arming the motherfucker. So, again, tell me how this guy's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm willing to learn. I absolutely am. And there's people in our government who want to make it worse, who want to make it a more direct fight.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of people. I mean, look at McCarthy, who's the Speaker of the House now. He wore the little pin and said we had to defend Ukraine. He still wears that stupid little pin.
Thank you, Pirate Bob. Monkey, I used to watch you a few years ago a lot. Just found you again on this account. I'm Scribelight, or is Scribelight still a co-host at times? Not prying. He's not a co-host. He does join me occasionally. Usually if I'm doing a show during the daytime. I start way too late. And when I started this show on a regular basis, he was still doing Lords of the Night with Satsu when I walked away from it. we're still friends, and we still visit each other's channel from time to time, but it's not a regular thing. Over on the Streamlabs, guys, don't forget you can support the show by likes and sharing. That always helps out. You can also donate to Jack or myself. The link is at the top of your YouTube chat if you'd like to donate through Streamlabs. Dark Resurrect coming through with that feminist $12. Not to mention, Germany is now discussing giving Ukraine some of that Leopard main battle tanks. Some of their Leopard main battle tanks. Yeah. We basically are at war with Russia. We're just not being honest about it.
Yeah, they're using this as a proxy, and a lot of our politicians really want to get us involved in this for some stupid fucking reason. But the Russians are really, really focusing on building nationalism and separating themselves from Western civilization, basically.
Not trying to distract. Don't worry, man. This is Monkey in the Morning. Distraction is the name of the game. If we weren't distracted, it wouldn't be the same show. All right. Oregon Hospital proudly announces expansion of sex change department. Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? The Oregon Health and Science University. I mean, it's a great way to make money. Let's be honest. Why wouldn't they?
Well, they like money.
Oregon Health and Science University has proudly announced the expansion of their gender-affirming service, castration for the purpose of vaginoplasty, as well as creating non-functional neopenises from the skin and flesh of forearms. Does that count as
neopenis
fisting?
new gender?
Does that count as fisting?
Yes. But is it a new gender?
No. It's one of the old ones all the way back. The Indians even had it.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. Is that part of Two-Spirit?
The Department of Surgery boasted of adding Dr. Blair Peters to its team, whose recruitment allowed for a considerable expansion of OHSU's gender-affirming services. Oh, shit. I didn't put this one on the screen. Sorry, guys. Da-da-da-da. I get distracted sometimes. See, I told you, dude. I get distracted. It's the name of the game around here. Yeah, so they've hired a dude who's going to make it easier for them to cut kids apart. Yay. Don't worry, it's not kids yet. It's just their gender-affirming care, Jack. None to see here, guys. Don't worry. Oh, man. Just wait till they hire Dr. Cut a Kid's Penis Off. And finally tonight, we have this gem from yesterday. We didn't get to it yesterday, but I told Jack, make sure we get it for tonight. Wells Fargo executive fired, arrested after allegedly peeing on a woman aboard a flight to India.
Yeah, I was starting to think you were avoiding this article because it's been near the end for like a week now. And somebody reminded me of it because I thought it was fake at first. And then somebody put it on Twitter. I forget who. Sorry, I think it was Oki. And I was like, wait, this is real? Because I thought it was a joke. So I was going to include it as a joke because it's a few days old. But nope, real.
No, I wasn't avoiding it. Just been time constraints.
No,
Indian police have arrested an unruly airline passenger following a complaint by a woman aboard an Air India flight from New York that he urinated on her in business class. Shankar Mishra was picked up by police in the southern city of Bengaluru and brought to the Indian capital on Saturday. New Delhi police spokesman somebody said. Nava declined to say what Mishra told investigators after his arrest. The Times of India newspaper cited Mishra as saying that he was drunk and could not believe what he had done.
Now, did they make him watch that UNICEF video, put the poo in the loo?
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh my God, really? I'm going to find that for you.
She should have bought first class. Everyone knows you get pissed on in business class. A New Delhi court sent him to prison for 14 days as police investigate the complaint accusing Mishra of outraging the modesty of a woman during the New York to New Delhi flight. If convicted, he faces up to 3 years in prison. 3 years in prison for peeing on a woman. Jack Murphy. Jack Murphy, you might want to pay attention to that.
Right? Look, it's quite possible that if she had been in Untouchable, it would have been fine.
I mean, gentlemen, don't pee on anyone. Not cool to piss on people. Unless, you guys have some kind of agreement and you're into weird shit. But, man, I would just say it was an accident. That's what I would do. That's nasty. I agree, Ebony. I do not understand people that get into that weird stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of grossies out there, but hey, as long as you're keeping it in your bedroom and not doing it on airplanes, because that whole thing smelled then.
Monkey sounds like a square. Look, I'm very vanilla when it comes to that kind of stuff. I don't understand all the weirdness. It's why I'm so fascinated by it. He thought she was into water sports. Sean, don't be a sex pest. Don't pee on people unless they ask you to. And even then, I mean, sometimes maybe not. Just maybe not. If you're a Chicago public school teacher, you might want to be careful. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap up here. We're at the 2-hour mark. We're going to play some shit. I don't even know what I'm going to play today. Maybe more 7 days. Did I do anything else that we need to do over there? I know I built onto the base. We could still add more to it, make it even deadlier. I've just gotten to that point where I normally get. I'm like, I'm so safe in this game. Unless I'm going out there and putting myself in dangerous situations. I mean, it's really, was it almost Horde Night? I thought we got past Horde Night. All right, well, if it's a Horde Night, we'll do a Horde Night. Fuck it, we'll load up 7 days, and if it's not 7 days, maybe we'll play something else. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you so very much for the donations. You guys are awesome. Really, really appreciate that. I'm going to have the good ramen because of you. Actually, with the grocery prices, I'm going to have the regular ramen, but it's still because of you. Thank you so much. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop a link to a cool video in the stream I did yesterday about the new Dungeons & Dragons TOS or OGL. But as always, thank you so much for the donations. You guys are awesome. And stay beautiful out there.
Twitch.tv/rantingmonkey. Nuts just dropped the link into chat. It is also in your link below. Check it out, guys. Twitch.tv/rantingmonkey. Over there playing some video games, talking some shit, and just having some fun. So come hang out. Everybody, thanks for watching. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Guys, have a wonderful night. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
I'm supposed to sing, aren't I? I was sitting there going, I'm waiting for the show to sing. I'm waiting for the show to end, but it just won't. I guess I should sing a song so I can end my own show that I have all the control over.